What's up, guys? This is Manoj Bhupani. I welcome you all on behalf of the ADpedia world. It's been a fantastic morning outside, and I'm sure that you guys must be enjoying your life to the fullest, guys. So, are we all set? Are we all ready to acquire the particular knowledge, the kind of questions that have already been asked in CA final examination of previous attempts with relation to the topic of foreign exchange? Guys, by now we have already covered the entire range of practical exposure which is relating to the topic of foreign exchange, be it any kind of theoretical question, be it the kind of practical knowledge that you need to acquire with respect to the topic of foreign exchange. I've covered each and everything over there in my last 9 presentations. This is going to be my 10th video presentation in which I'll mark the beginning of the kind of questions that have already been asked in CA final examination in previous attempts. So, are we guys all set? And are we guys considering this thing that yes, revision is extremely imperative, guys? Remember that you need to revise your topics time and again because that is something which is extremely crucial for each one of you. Let's mark the beginning with the first question of the day. Fasten up your seatbelts, we're about to take off. So, guys, this is going to be the base question of my presentation. Allow me to make you understand what is the basic term bid, what is the basic term ask, and what do I mean by spread. These three terminologies are basically the ones which you'll come across daily in your regular life as well. Okay, you are just not aware of the term basically, but these are the things you daily come across in your regular lives. So let me make you go through about this particular base question so that I can make you understand what is bid, what is ask, and what is spread all about. So guys, SBI bank quotes an INR of 28.45 slash 28.65 for Australian dollar. Compute the bid, the ask, and the spread, and also show that how they would quote if it were an indirect quote. Had it been the case, it would have been an indirect quote. How would these particular quotes will be reflected? So, guys, bid is something I'll make you understand with a very common example. Let's say you go to a bank, okay? Bank, remember always the second party towards with whom you will be contracting will always remain a trader or a bank as far as the foreign exchange is concerned. Can you just understand this thing that it's always a normal case which is buy cheap and sell at a higher price? Why it is always said in order to make profit, people usually and come across this kind of situation wherein they buy cheaper and they sell at a higher cost. Simple guys, that is the same thing which happens with bid, ask and spread as well. Bid is the price which bank will pay to you. Ask is basically the price for which bank is gonna charge you. Okay. And spread is basically is the difference between the ask and the bid. Bank will always buy cheap. Okay. So basically the price at which the bank will buy it's called as bid. The price at which the bank is gonna sell that currency to you, it will be termed as ask. And the difference between the two will be the spread. Clear, guys? Am I loud and clear with this particular stuff? Always remember, whenever this is the case that you get stuck with any of the question relating to foreign exchange, always consider your question with the perspective of a bank. Okay, bank is always and always gonna buy from you at a cheaper price and is gonna sell you at higher price. So now coming back to the question, what is direct quote? In this particular case, the bid quote will be for 1 Australian dollar, the bank will offer you 28.45 rupees. Okay, this is the amount that the bank will offer you. Okay, for ask quote, bank is gonna charge you 28.65 for 1 Australian dollar. Simple. You'll go to the bank, you'll ask bank, I need an Australian dollar. Bank will say, I can provide you an Australian dollar for 28.65. Cool. The next time you come to the bank and you say, bank, I want to sell now 1 Australian dollar. The bank will say, I will buy the Australian dollar for 28.45. This is going to be the classification between bid and ask. And what do I mean by spread? Spread in this particular case will be 28.65 minus 28.45. So the difference between the ask rate and the bid rate is going to be 20 paisa in this particular case, and this 20 paisa per Australian dollar will be termed as spread. This is the direct quote. Now, remember guys, I made you understand in my first or second presentation, what do I mean by direct quote? Direct quote is basically the quote wherein we basically keep on the left hand side that currency, which is the foreign currency to us. In this particular case, since we are having INR, that is the Indian rupees in our country, we'll be basically keeping the Australian dollar on left hand side, and we'll be charging our particular case for 1 unit of Australian dollar will be equivalent to n number of units of Indian rupees. That's how direct quote is being reflected. Now, in case of indirect quote, the same will get reversed. It's as simple as that. So 1 INR is gonna be equal to Australian dollar 1 divided by 28.65. That will be termed as bid, and 1 divided by 28.45, the amount that will come out of that particular calculation will be termed as the ask. So in this particular case, the bid would be INR 1 equal to Australian dollar, that is 0.0375. And as far as the ask rate is concerned, that will be 0.0378. So this is going to be the difference between a direct quote and indirect quote. I hope you guys are pretty much clear with the base question that I made you understand over here. Shall we proceed further, guys? Let's go ahead and understand what kind of questions are being asked in CA final examination and CS final examinations. So my first question is gonna be the one which has already been asked in CS final. The following rates appear in the foreign exchange market. INR divided by US dollar. So basically it's gonna be 1 US dollar will be equivalent to how many Indian currency? Rupees. So the spot rate which has been provided to us is 1 US dollar will be equivalent to 45.80, that is the bid, and 1 US dollar will be equivalent to 46.05, that is the ask rate. And in the same question, it has been provided to us that the 2-month forward rate is 46.5 to 47. That is the same rate which has been provided to us in the question. Now, what is expected out of us, and what do our examination checker is going to ask in this particular question? Let's understand these three main parts of it. How many dollars should a firm sell in order to get INR 5 crore after 2 months? Now, guys, coming back to the first question, the base question, the question with which I made you understand a concept. Now we'll have to apply the same concept in this particular question in order to solve it out. Now, the first part is basically asking us that we have got some amount of dollars in our pocket, okay, and we need 5 crore rupees after 2 months. Then how many dollars do we need to shed out of our pocket in order to get 5 crore rupees in our pocket after 2 months? So it has been mentioned to us in the question itself that 2-month forward rate is INR 46.5, that is bid, and 47, that is ask. Now, since guys, our base currency in this particular question is US dollar, because the quote has been provided to us in the direct. So 1 US dollar is equivalent to INR n number of units. So it is the direct quote. So the base currency in this question is the one which is being provided to us in left hand side, that is dollars. Now, the first part is basically asking us how many amount of dollars should we as a firm need to sell in order to get 5 crore. We have got dollars in our pocket, guys. So we'll be going to the bank and we'll say, bank, we have got dollars in our pocket, okay, and we need 5 crore Indian rupees. Bank will say, I can provide you, yeah, but the quote that I can offer you is you have got dollars in your pocket and you want to acquire Indian rupees. Because the base currency is dollar, I can simply say that you need to sell your dollars, okay, and the bank is gonna purchase them up at cheap price. So in this particular case, the cheap price is nothing but 46.5. So what's gonna happen is 5 crore will be divided by 46.5, and the amount that will come will be the amount of dollars that you'll have to shed out of your pocket in order to get those 5 crore Indian rupees after a period of 2 months. Clear, guys? Let's go ahead with the second part, because my technique and my tactics have always remained one thing, that we need to solve, we need to try our level best to solve the question by understanding the question itself, okay? Do not need to go ahead with the solution part first. So let's understand and solve this question right here so that you guys can get comfortable with respect to the solution part. Moving on to the second thing, which is how many rupees is the firm required to pay to obtain US dollars 2 lakh in the spot market. Now it's saying you basically are having rupees in your pocket, okay, and you need to obtain US dollars, that is 2 lakh US dollar in the spot market. So now since the base currency is dollar, guys, you'll go to the bank and you'll say, bank, I need some dollars. Bank will say, since the base currency is dollar, in this particular case, the rate that will apply to your situation will be ask, because you are asking the bank to provide you the dollars. So bank will always and always provide you the dollars for higher price. Correct. So that will be the case wherein 2 lakh dollars will be multiplied with 46.05. You'll get the amount of rupees that you need to shed out of your pocket in order to obtain US dollars of 2 lakh. Coming to the third point, which is assume that the firm has got US dollars 50,000. How many rupees does the firm obtain in the exchange of US dollars? So it's again going to be a very simple question, guys. You got $50,000 in your pocket. Just go to the bank and say, bank, I need some rupees in consideration of providing you the dollars. The same question has been applied for in the market of spot. So 50,000 will be multiplied directly with 46.05 and you'll get your figure. Clear, guys? Let's move ahead for the solution part. So guys, in order to get INR 5 crores after 2 months, the following step would be followed. We have got a dollar quote over here. So we can simply say we need to buy rupees, whose quantum is also known. Therefore, we need 2-month forward rupee quote. So we'll have to convert the same direct quote into the indirect one. So 1 INR is going to be $0.0213. That is going to be the bid, and $0.0215 is going to be the ask. Remember, guys, I made you understand this particular topic with a simple front. Since you have got dollars in your pocket and you need INR, okay, so the bank is gonna provide you the same for a simple case while taking into consideration 46.5 and not 47. So in order to buy 1 INR, you need 0.0215. Therefore, to buy INR 5 crore, we need 5 crores multiplied by 0.0215. Or if in case this particular thing is not, you're not able to understand this particular thing by converting the code, you can directly go ahead with 5 crore divided by 46.5 rather than going for such long calculation by converting the direct code into indirect code. That will not be required in your examination at all. I have mentioned this thing only and only in order to make you understand that you can also try and go ahead while converting your code from direct to indirect one as well. So you'll get the figure of $10,75,000. That is the amount that you need to shed out of your pocket in order to get 5 crore rupees. Clear, guys? Let's move ahead with the B part. In order to obtain 2 lakh US dollars in the spot market, the firm needs to pay again 2 lakh multiplied by 46.05. Remember, guys, not 45.80, because the bank is going to provide you the same currency at higher prices. So 46.05 is going to be the rate which needs to be applied in order to obtain 2 lakh US dollars. So the amount of money, the amount of Indian rupees that you need to shed out of your pocket will be 92 lakh 10,000 rupees. Clear? The third point, the last one, if the firm has got $50,000 in its pocket and the firm needs to sell it in spot market, then the rate that will be applied. In this particular case, we have got dollar. This is going to be the same case as the first one, not the second one. Since you have got dollar in your pocket and you need Indian rupees, so the bank is going to buy from you the dollars for cheap price because the base currency is dollars, and you'll go to the bank and say, bank, I've got dollars, will you be able to buy it from me? The bank will say, okay, we can buy it, but we can buy it only for cheaper price. So in this particular case, the cheaper rate will be 45.80 and not 46.05. So the firm can sell in spot at 45.80 in order to get the INR. You'll have to fix up the figure with INR 22 lakh 90,000 rupees. Clear, guys? A, B, and C. So this is gonna be the basic understanding of how to go about and solve a kind of question that is reflected in your examination paper. Just remember one thing, guys. You need to hold on to the concepts, main thing. Okay, be it any kind of question. Okay, forex is such an interesting topic and such a very simple aspect. All you need to do is just grab the concepts first of all. Once you are basically holding your concepts like in a very good way, nobody can even touch your presence in that particular case, okay? And you'll be able to provide the best presentation. I'm sure, undoubtedly, I know about this thing, okay? All you need to do is just hold on to your concepts and catch them good way. Bas, that's it. Now, moving on to the next question, and which is the one which is being asked in CS final election again. So, the following direct quotes have been observed from the forex market. INR divided by dollar. So, it's simple. $1 is equivalent to INR 43.70. The second quote which is being provided in our question is DM per dollar. So, which is 1.578. Okay, $1 is equivalent to 43.70 and $1 is equal to Deutschmark, which is 1.578 overseas. Okay, we need to find the cross rates for INR and DM. Okay, guys, let's suppose we have got DM, that is Deutschmark, in our hands. Okay, and we need to acquire INR. But certainly in this particular question, there is no direct quote which is available to us like per one DM equivalents to n number of INR. So we need to get our part clear with the help of application of cross rate principle. Okay, cross rate is nothing but wherein two different currencies are exchanged with the help of a third currency. So in this particular case, the third currency is none other than dollar. So what is going to be the cross rate in this particular case? It's going to be very simple, which is 43.70 divided by 1.578. Okay, simple. Why? Because $1 is equivalent to 43.70 rupees, and at the same time, $1 is equivalent to 1.578 Deutschmark. So it's as simple as that. $1, that is 43.70, multiplied by 1 divided by 1.578. Okay, you'll get the figure as 27.6933, and that is going to be the required cross rate for INR per Deutschmark, that is 27.6933. I hope this question is again very much clear to you guys as well. Let's move ahead with the third question, and which is the one which has already been asked in CF's final examination, not CS this time, but CA final examination 2009 June. The question states, guys, your forex dealer has entered into a cross currency deal. Okay, again, this is basically going to be a kind of a transaction for a cross currency deal. Okay, and they have sold US dollars 10 lakh against dollar at 1.44 for spot delivery. Okay, they have sold the US dollars for euro. Now, however, later during the day, the market became volatile and the dealer, in compliance with his management's guidelines, had to cover up the position when the quotations were spot rate US dollars $1 is equivalent to euro 1.44, that is bid, and 1.45, that is asked. Now guys, don't get confused by this thing, because generally what happens is euro is a more stronger currency in comparison with dollars. We all are aware of it. It's a very general thing amongst the market. We can simply say pound is the one which has got the maximum amount of rupees. Okay, then comes euro, and then comes dollar, and then comes Singapore dollar and Australian dollar, and so on. Okay, but this question is basically a bit tricky one, because it has the potential to trick the students in a very well manner, because it's being shown in this question that dollar is the one which is basically having its higher price. Okay, it's being shown that $1 is equivalent to 1.44 euro, but in normal global scenario, it's exactly the opposite. Okay, 1 euro is equivalent to some certain 1 point something something US dollars. Okay, so please don't get confused by this thing. Okay, it's a question, so go by the guidelines which is being provided in the question itself. Okay, don't apply your normal general global scenario mind in this particular case. Okay, so it's as simple as that. That 1 US dollar is being provided. You have actually entered into the deal and you have sold your US dollars for 1.44 euros. Okay, now you'll be going back to the bank and you'll say, bank, I need to buy the US dollar. Bank will say, okay, I can provide you the dollars, but since the base currency in this particular case is dollar, so you need to pay me higher amount. Okay, bank is gonna be selling you the dollars for higher price, obviously. So bank will provide you 1 US dollar for euro 1.45. Now, in the first part, guys, you sold the dollar for 1.44, and in the second thing, you'll have to buy the euro for 1.45. So is it a loss or a gain for you? It's absolutely the loss for you. Euro, which has been received by selling the dollars, for 10 lakh multiplied by 1.44, which comes out to be euro 14 lakh 40,000, and the euro which is being paid for buying the dollars comes out to be 10 lakh multiplied by 1.45, which comes out with a figure of euro 14 lakh 50,000. So the net loss in this particular case is gonna be 10,000 euros. It's $10,000. Okay, guys. This was the question which was asked in CA final examination for June 2009. I hope this particular question is very much clear to you guys. So guys, let's move ahead with the next question, and which is the one which has been asked in CA final examination for November 2011. On January 28, 2005, an importer customer requested the bank to remit Singapore dollar 25 lakh under an irrevocable letter of credit. However, due to the bank strikes, the bank could effect the remittance only on 4th Feb 2005. So we have been provided different rates for these two different days in the question itself. The bank wishes to retain an exchange margin of 0.125%. How much does the customer stand to gain or lose due to delay? Calculate the rate in the multiples of 0.0001. Guys, have you ever thought about this thing? Why this quote is basically being provided, or the journal code? It's just a random knowledge that I want to share with you. Why it's being mentioned that's always in the multiples of 4 decimals, okay? Have you ever thought about this thing? Okay, I'll tell you. It's basically because the normal markets, which like the different markets, the global markets, basically function on the multiples of 4 only. Okay, it's a standard texture which they have developed, that they'll be classifying all the transactions on the decimal verge of 4 basically. Okay, and this particular thing is basically called as pip. Pip is basically the term which is being used when they say like 4 decimal places for that. Okay, exchange of that, they simply say it's 1 pip. Okay, that's just a random knowledge that I wanted to share with you guys. Okay, so coming back to the question, this particular case, there was an importer customer. Okay, importer basically wanted the bank to remit him Singapore dollar 25 lakh rupees. Okay, on 28th January. But unfortunately, on that particular day, the bank strike actually happened. Okay, and the bank was only able to effect the remittance only on 4th of Feb. Okay, not before that. So it will definitely happen in this particular case that had it been the case, the transaction would have been done on 28th January, would be entirely different with the one on which it actually happened. Okay, the rates which would have been there on 28th will be like certainly different from the ones which are available on 4th of February. So definitely the importer customer would have got the gain in this particular mishap, or he would have loosened in this particular mishap. So let's understand what would have actually happened to his scenario. Did he actually gain, or he just lose due to this particular delay? Okay, let's go with the rates first of all, okay, before heading towards the solution. Guys, on 28th January, there are three different rates which have been provided to us. First is Bombay, and for Bombay exchange, basically $1 will be equivalent to 45.85 bid and 45.90 as asked. Okay, guys, since in this particular question you are the one who is actually holding rupees in your hands, okay, so what should be your first step? I'll basically help you and enable you to understand this question in your way. Okay, I'll take it one by one, step by step, so that you can get the complete clarity of this question. What will be your first step? Okay, since you need to obtain 25 lakh rupees from the bank, okay, you need to shed out some amount of rupees. Okay, since you need to shed out the rupees, you'll have to first of all do one thing, which is you need to buy the dollars, because you have not got a direct quote in this particular question. So due to unavailability of direct quote in this particular question, you'll have to first buy the US dollars. Now you'll go to the bank and you'll say, bank, I need the dollar. What will bank say? Bank say, yes, I can provide you the same, but I can provide you only on higher amount, which is basically the ask in his scenario. So what is the rate that will be applied in your first principle? That will be 45.90 and not 45.85. Clear, guys? Stick to one thing, which is 45.90 will be your first rate. Now, after acquiring a dollar, the next thing that you'll have to do is, since the dollar is also not available against the Singapore dollar, there is another currency that you need to get entered into, which is pound. So you'll go to London market, and they have mentioned you a quote, which is pound. One sterling pound is equivalent to some certain dollars. Bid is 1.7840 and ask is 1.7850. So now in this particular case, the base currency is pound, it has been mentioned to us as 1 pound equivalent to. So now you have got US dollars in your pocket. Okay, you just exchanged your Indian rupees for US dollars, and you go to the bank in London market and you say, bank, I need to sell my dollars. Okay, bank will and tell you, since the base currency is pound, I'll say you need to buy the pound. Okay, you cannot say you need to sell the dollars. You'll have to buy the pound. Okay, because the base currency now in this case is pound. So the bank will sell you the pound only on higher price. Okay, remember guys, the bank needs to make the profit. So 1 pound will be collected by your end at a rate of 1.7850 and not 1.7840. So the next rate that you need to remember in this case is 1.7850. The first rate was 45.90. The second rate is 1.7850. Now, after obtaining the pound, the third code that is being made available to us in the question is 1 sterling pound is equivalent to Singapore dollar 3.1575 bid and 3.1590 ask. Now, since in this question you've got pound in your hand and the base currency is also pound, now you need to basically sell the pounds. Okay, you can't say that I need to buy the Singapore dollars. The mindset that will be applied in this particular case will be you need to sell the pound. So the bank will say I can buy the pound but only at less price, which is the cheaper one. So the bank will apply a rate of 3.1575 and not 3.1590. So the third rate that you need to remember in this case is 3.1575. The first rate was 45.90, the second rate is 1.7850, and the third quote is 3.1575. Okay, clear guys? Now, simple, what you need to do is you need to multiply 45.90 to 1.7850 because expensive currency as compared to the dollar. So you need to multiply the same with 45.90. And after that, the Singapore dollar is cheaper than the pound. You'll have to divide the same scenario with 3.1575 and the same will be multiplied with the number of Singapore dollars, that is 25 lakh, and you'll get the figure in your case, which is 28th of January. Clear guys? Cool. Now, what will happen if in case the remittance is being made on Feb 4? Nothing will change. Nothing. No position will be changing in this particular scenario as well. The only thing will be rates are gonna change. Okay, the position will remain same. So in the first case, since the position, the ask was applied, which is 45.90. Here also ask will be applied, which is 45.97. Concept will remain exactly the same. Only the figures will change. Ask will be applied in the position of ask. Bid will be applied in the position of bid. Don't worry about that. So the first rate that will be applied in the case of 4th February will be 45.97. The second quote that will be applied will be 1.7775. Okay, that is the one will be applied similar to the one which was applied in January 28th, which was 1.7850. So here on Feb 4, you'll be applying 1.7775. And lastly, the rate which was applied on 28th January for Singapore dollar was 3.1575. Similarly, in this case as well, the rate that you will be picking up will be for bid only, which is 3.1380. Clear guys? Loud and clear? Perfect. Now, all you need to do is just multiply the same with 25 lakh rupees and you'll get the figure. And after doing that, you just need to retain the margin, which is 0.125. And that's it. And you'll get to know the kind of gain or loss you've actually made in this particular transaction. Clear guys? Confident about the question? Cool. Let's move ahead with the solution part. So guys, since it's been mentioned to us that this is going to be a cross rate type question because direct code wasn't being provided to us. So I have made it in a very simple terminology over here, which is INR. So basically you have got 1 Singapore dollar. How many amount of INR that you need to shed out of your pocket in order to obtain 1 Singapore dollar? So INR will be 1 US dollar will get you some amount of INRs. The same will be multiplied with 1 GBP in consideration of n number of US dollars multiplied by 1 Singapore dollar in consideration of GBPs. So this is gonna be the cross rate thing. INR divided by US dollars multiplied by US dollars divided by GBP, and the same will be multiplied by GBP divided by Singapore dollars. This is gonna be the solution part. Now coming back to the main thing, which is the offer quote on 28th of January. Remember guys, the kind of codes that I made you understand with 45.9 multiplied by 1.7850 divided by 3.1575. So the figure that will come into your picture will be 25.9482 per Singapore dollar. That will be the one which will be multiplied with the number of Singapore dollars, that is 25 lakh. So you'll get the figure of 6 crore 48 lakh 70,500 Indian national rupees. Now, this would have been the case, had it been the case, remittance would have been done on 28th. But actually, did it happen? No. So, what is the offer code which was available on 4th of February? So, the offer code that was available on 4th of Feb was 45.97 multiplied by 1.7775 multiplied by 1 divided by 3.1380. So that has resulted in the INR, that is 26.0394 per Singapore dollar. That will be multiplied with the number of Singapore dollars, that is 25 lakh. You'll get a figure of INR 6 crore 50 lakh 98,530. So did you actually got the gain or loss? You have actually got the loss, guys, because on if in case you would have remitted the figure on 28th of January, you would have shed 6.48 crores out of your pocket. But now on 4th of February, you would have to do the same thing for 6.50. Okay. Now, since this is the loss which has been made out of this particular thing, inclusive of commission, that is the one which is being charged by the bank, it will be 2.28, 2,28,315. Once the same is being multiplied with 1.00125, which was the commission of the bank. This was the question which was asked in CA final examination for November 2011. I hope you guys are pretty much clear with this particular question as well. So, are you guys feeling confident about the kind of stuff that is usually or regularly being asked in CA final examinations? Cool. That is something which I want from your end. Okay. Stay motivated. Keep yourself confident. Believe me on this thing, guys. The kind of questions that are being asked with relation to the topic of forex management are usually very, very, very simple. If in case you grab the concepts very well, okay, all you need to do is just grab the concepts very well, and the same will be done in a very effective manner. Believe me, trust me for that thing. Okay, if in case you've got any kind of queries with respect to this particular question, do write to me. Don't worry about that particular thing. I am here to solve each and every kind of grievance that you have, guys. With this, I'll say thank you on behalf of the Wikipedia. Well, stay connected, guys. That helps me up in knowing you better, the kind of queries that you have for me, the kind of grievances that you have for me. Keep interacting with me because that increases my motivation booster in order to provide you the best which I can do. If in case you have got this video informative, if in case you feel that this is something which you can share with your friends, do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you in the next presentation with a lot more questions that are being asked in CE final examination for previous attempts. Till then, take care, guys. Keep yourself healthy and fit. Sayonara. God bless you all. Bye.